Colin Noel, you're getting weak. You used to always be first. Jay, don't get knocked out. Do you guys think McCuck can generate that kind of power? Let me ask you guys a question. How far down the food chain would you have to go with people until you found a specimen so weak and pathetic that McCuck would actually win? McCuck is a fake tough guy. Calling McCuck a fake tough guy is giving him too much credit. Have you seen the guy's head? He looks like he has birth defects. McCuck is a fat idiot. That's a good one. Thoughts on 0.5 grams of protein per pound. That's nowhere near enough. If you want to pack on muscle, you have to have, and I'm talking about to make gains, you have to have an overabundance of fats, carbohydrates, and protein. You have to have an overabundance to make gains. If you want to make gains, I would suggest, especially if you're natty, you want to bulk like a late 60s Arnold Schwarzenegger. Oh. Say his last Schwarzenegger. Did I say it wrong? That was exposed in your bench meat video. What was exposed? I don't think McCuck was there. Oh, conservative Cuban in the house. What's up, Cuban? McCuck looks like an Ewok from Star Wars. Holy shit. Colin Noel, you hit the nail on the head. I never even thought of that. That's fucking perfect. Are you boxing McCuck or not? As soon as McCuck tears up that gay little contract he fucking wrote up, and we'll get together and drop a real contract with some real rules. Yes. Personally, I don't even think we need a contract. There's enough goddamn gyms in South Florida that have rings or octagons or whatever. We just got to kind of show up low key, less than 10 people, and say, hey, these two guys want to spar for 3 1-minute rounds. And I'm sure the gym, they might want to have a little quick meeting with us, whatever. Make sure no fighting, goes on the property after we're done in the ring. Maybe make us sign a little basic liability form. That's all you need. McCuck might sleep him. Come on, bro. Jay, thoughts on your micro penis? I try to ignore it, honestly. I mean, who wants to think about their micro penis? Ugh. Jabba the Hutt versus a fucking Ewok. Perfect. Jay instantly started bargaining with the bedroom bully account. He knows damn well McCock might. Dude, come on. You guys should go back to Chef Crackhead's original post. Fucking. As soon as I replied to McCock on there, he immediately, his very next was reply, okay, I'm going to drop a contract. It doesn't work that way. Did you see the troll post of them calling your girlfriend? That's given me a lot of credit saying I have a girlfriend. I thought I was gay. Or I thought I was an incel. Or whatever you guys say. How can I be an incel or a cock or... But now I got a girlfriend? It's like when you guys... If it suits you guys, you'll call me homeless. But if it suits you guys better, you'll say I live with my mom. But then 5 minutes later, I'm homeless. So you guys can say whatever you want. I once jerked off 4 times in an hour. I've never done that. You're a huge homo, literally and figuratively. Thank you. What do you think about the downfall of Jay Masters' video Transform X made? I guess it was well done. I mean, the guy's got some editing skills. I'll give him that, but he has no content without me. I mean, it's like these people are trying to sustain their pages with nothing but hate for Jay Masters. That's not a page. That video was great. Don't hate, Jay. I said it was good. I just think he's lost his, didn't Transform X have a page before I was even around on social media? I mean, what did his content used to consist of? Now he has nothing but me. I mean, come on, man. Chris Bra has gotten to be the same way. Chris Bra has turned out to be like a fucking Brad fanboy. Jay, are you going to start jogging? If I started jogging, I would stop jogging immediately because fucking I'm not. You can't just start jogging. You got to get in a little bit of physical condition before you start jogging. I might not even be able to jog 100 yards right now. Fighting McCuck would give you back your status as a misfit. That's a retarded comment because Brad already kicked me out. Why don't you hit a heavy bag? I'd love to, but dude, on the road, I'm a trucker. Where am I supposed to go to hit a heavy bag? The only times I get to fucking rest and fucking go to a gym is Saturday and Sunday. When's the fight so I can buy a referee shirt? There's You Gotta Be a Freak. He makes decent videos, if it's the one I'm thinking of. A trucker and a sucker. Okay, You're a poet and you didn't know it. Taco versus Livia on the undercard. That's funny. I'll bet Taco Queen would beat the dog shit out of Livia. Taco Queen's got those street smarts. Livia is just stupid and European. Raymond Lewis, you are a walking heart attack. I agree with you, bro. I'm trying to do something about it. White Shadow says, hashtag there was no cheating. If you knock him out, would you come on his face after? I don't think it's legal to come on someone's face if they're unconscious. I think that's sexual assault. I'm not sure, though. I don't think I could get hard looking at McCuck's dead body anyway. Did you stop smoking when drunk? I've done better, bro. The only... you got to be a freak, says, I hate it when truckers drive in the left lane. Yeah, sometimes you have to, but you get over after you make your pass. Like, my truck is governed at 73 miles an hour. So if you got a truck in the middle lane doing 65, do you expect me to do 65 and stay behind him for hours and hours and hours? Or is it okay if I get in the left lane, put my foot to the floor, get up to 73 and go around him? See, the problem is 73 isn't that fast. So I might be trying to get around a truck that's doing 65 in the center lane, and you come hauling up on me doing 85, and you get all pissed off because I'm in the left lane, and I've only been in the left lane for fucking 20 seconds. Did Tyler toss Livia's salad? I don't think so. I don't think you would want to toss Livia's salad. Don't pukers have fucked up buttholes too? Pretty much their whole digestive system is trashed from puking. So I think pukers have hemorrhoids and real nasty assholes. Now there's Beef Lewis, my buddy from Montana. Oh my God, who is that? I sucked my own dick one time. Yeah, that's the thing a lot of people don't get about truckers is we're not trying to ride the left lane. We're just trying to get around a slower truck. She's a puker and she smokes bowl. She's got grapes on her turd cutter. Ugh. Lick Emma's heroin-riddled scars. That's not very nice. What's Emma done to you? I would... Oh, here's a good one from the Cuban. McCuck to the rescue. He'll save Brad and the Taco Queen. That is how McCuck sees himself. McCuck sees himself as the savior. You know, I could just see McCuck sitting around a table talking to, like, you know, maybe his wife has friends over. I doubt he does. But I could just see him explaining the situation to his wife's friends. And he's like, well, you know, if Brad and Andrew aren't going to do anything, you know, someone's got to. So, hell, I'll fight the guy. Jesus Christ. Yeah, sure you will, McCuck. Tear up the contract, McCuck. Who said I'll fight his brother? Uh, Hamburg said he's coming to the USA to watch the fight. I doubt he'll be able to travel outside of Sweden with COVID-19. I'll tell you what, Hamburg wouldn't be such a pussy about drawing up a contract. Hamburg would say, let's just get in the ring and do it. Brad wouldn't be a pussy about drawing up a contract. He'd say, let's do it. Lenny wouldn't be a pussy. He'd say, let's get in the ring and do it. The only person who wants any kind of fucking contract for a simple fucking exhibition boxing, or I wouldn't even call it boxing. It's a sparring session. You don't need a contract for an exhibition sparring or a sparring exhibition. That sounds better. For a 3-round sparring exhibition, you don't need a contract. You don't even have judges lined up. How are you going to judge a winner? Real boxing matches have judges. Many of them. Not just one, many. Don't pro fights have like 9 judges? What is McCuck? McCuck in his contract gets to fucking pick the judges too? I mean, come on. We don't need judges. Let's just film it for fun and let the maniacs comment underneath. Would be minty if you just showed up at McCuck's in your rig. I would never show up at someone's house like that. That's why I thought it was so stupid when Brad, repeatedly said he's not welcome here. Listen, tough guy, you only had to say it once. Anyone with half a brain doesn't show up somewhere they're not welcome. Because I'll tell you what, you show up somewhere you're not welcome, you're at a huge disadvantage. If you don't believe me, go to a bar where they don't want you there, where the owner has said you're not welcome here. Go there. Go see how far you get. The house always wins. You guys are rookies. It will be obvious who wins. Right. It's not like a goddamn a pro boxing match where someone like me who doesn't know how to score a fight can watch a 12-round fight and be like, shit, that was pretty fucking even. And who really wants a scored fight anyway? Like, I've watched, the Olympics are real bad. I don't even know if they still have boxing in the Olympics. But scoring in the Olympics for boxing was just pathetic. Like, remember they used to have Olympic boxing, you would get the worst decisions you've ever seen because you don't even have to hit a guy real hard. You can just tap him with the scoring part of your glove and it counts as a point. That's fucked up. He's got to be strong and he's got to be fast and what? Oh, Quinn Courtney, you are such a pussy. You fucking loser. All respect gone. Whoa, you hurt me. How am I the one that's a pussy? McCuck is the one hiding behind a contract. Ugh. It's like karate, point fighting. Yeah, I'm not into that. It's fucking gay. Will you touch gloves? That's a boxing thing, man. Raymond Lewis, why not make a counter offer to McCuck? I want someone else to fucking be in the middle. I don't want to deal with that clown. He's an absolute clown. If you guys, those of you that have never met him, you don't quite understand. But if you hate him from what you've seen in videos, it's worse in real life. Well, I shouldn't say that. Actually, that's not true, because he's pathetic in videos. There's no way you could be any worse in real life. That was an exaggeration. I take that back. Abstain from masturbation the week of the fight. Okay. Quinn Courtney, dude, you run your mouth and then bitch out. Quinn Courtney, let me ask you a question. Why did he fucking run away from the computer the other night, or whatever device he was on, and start drawing up a fucking contract to try and take control of the situation? Why aren't you harping on him? Oh, that's right, because he's got a private account with 125 followers. You guys can't get at him.
11-hour driving limit.
You did nothing but complain in all the Vegas videos. You know, I agree with that. That's because Brad really took over what we were doing. I didn't like that at all. Brad's itinerary sucked. I should have been like Big Lenny and not gone to that stupid fucking Hoover Dam. I've driven by that Hoover Dam in my truck, you know, a few times. I don't want to exaggerate, a few. I've seen the Hoover Dam from the road. I didn't need to go there and walk it. Lenny was the only smart person that day that said, fuck that. It's a goddamn glorified landfill. Take me back to the hotel. I should have done the same fucking thing. Lenny proved to be right that day. Lenny is live right now. Hoover Dam is best from afar, just like Stonehenge. Yeah, Stonehenge is probably pretty stupid right there standing next to it. I'll bet flying over Stonehenge in a helicopter would be badass as fuck. Kind of like taking a helicopter tour of the Grand Canyon. That would be badass as fuck. You go backpacking down to the goddamn bottom of the Grand Canyon, you can't see shit. Because you're in the motherfucker. Brad was the one guy you never want to have in Vegas. I don't know what that means. See, Brad used to live in Vegas, I guess, before he came back to Florida. So he probably thought he was the one, you know, who was best equipped, you know, to put together a little plan so that we could all have fun. I don't think Brad did it on purpose. I'm not saying that at all. I think Brad had real good intentions, like, hey, I used to live here. You know, let's save these guys from doing all the bullshit, touristy, cookie cutter stuff. You know, I'll just, you know. Like, we should have never gone to the gym after we went to the Grand Canyon. That was retarded planning. If you guys remember correctly, fucking Pomps didn't go to the gym. Pomps went to the fucking Grand Canyon, and then after that, Pomps is like, fuck, take me back to the hotel. I'm not going to, I'm fucking tired. I need rest. Whatever. I don't know what Pomps did. Maybe he went masturbating. Maybe he went to the bar. Maybe he went and saw a show. You know, there's lots of things to do in Vegas. We should have never gone to the gym after the Grand Canyon. That was just piss poor planning. Pomps is allergic to the gym. I would have to say that Pomps has better genetics for the gym than McCuck. I mean, hypothetically speaking, whose genetics would you rather have, Pomps or McCuck's? Let him use his contract and tell him your price is a few grand. That would be fair because McCuck wants me to put up my IG account, and I went over this the other night. We really don't know how many followers I have in my IG because I'm shadow banned. It said 13.3 thousand, 13.3K. It's been stuck on that number for over 6 months. It never goes up. And I probably add 10 to 20 people to my IG every day. So every 5 days, my IG should be going up 100 people, but it always stays at 13.3K. And that's because I'm shadow banned. Yeah, I don't want McCuck to ruin. I like interacting with you guys. I know you guys, half you guys, or some of you guys, can't stand me, whatever. Wish I died. But some of you guys are cool as fuck, and I like interacting with you. I don't want to lose my IG. I mean, I could always come up with a new one. I didn't even read McCuck's contract. I mean, did he include all of my accounts? Or what did he say? I'm certainly not going to, this account right here, this YouTube, I've come too far with this channel to risk it. If McCuck wants to maybe bet just my main bedroom bully Instagram account, maybe we can start some negotiating. Because technically this account doesn't have anything to do with the Misfits. My YouTube has nothing to do with the Misfits. My backup accounts and my troll accounts on Instagram have nothing to do with the Misfits. The only account and my Facebook absolutely has nothing to do with the Misfits. I've had Facebook since 2008. I'm not going to risk that either. That's where all my friends from high school and shit like that are. So, of all the social media, and look at what does McCuck want me to delete my Parler that I started up a few months ago, the right-wing conservative social media site. That has nothing to do with the Misfits either. I basically have one social media account that has been and always will be linked to the Delray Misfits. That's my The Bedroom Bully account. And that was originally, my character and the Delray Misfits. We created, I think me, Brad, and Andrew, maybe even Lenny was there. Brad grabbed my phone and created an Instagram account for me. So, I've got one account that's linked to the Misfits. Everything else is mine. Nothing to do with the Misfits. McCuck wants the trolls off him. Huh? That's funny. I was just on one of my fake accounts. I was just on the Delray Misfits Ruckus telling the boys we should track down McCuck's wife's pediatrician and find out what hospital he's registered to. And when McCuck's wife goes into labor, we could fucking send a bunch of fucking misfit maniacs to the hospital. McCuck won't let anyone follow him on IG. I know. I'm starting to think more and more that McCuck never got rid of the new universal order. I'm starting to think that's a big fucking lie. Why does McCuck white knight for the Taco Queen? I don't think McCuck is doing this for Valerie. I think McCuck is doing this for praise directly from fucking Brad and maybe even Nate. Like, McCuck seeks acceptance and praise. And he really thinks fuck. Like, Nick is 1,000 or 1,000,000 times cooler than McCuck. Nate can ignore all this and just let us have fun and do our thing and not get butthurt. But McCuck can't. McCuck has to try and control and police and basically be the Boy Scouts of America trying to clean up the internet. Yeah, but well, that's McCuck's angle to get praise from Nate and Brad. It is to white knight himself for their women. You know, so McCuck is almost like one of Nate's dogs, you know, begging for a fucking treat. Lenny's got coronavirus. Did he just say that on his live stream? Quinn Courtney just said, you literally have no one that loves you. I would beg to differ. I mean, let's talk about people. Let's talk about people that we know want nothing to do with me. Brad, McCuck, Hamburg, Kim Haynes. Keep the list going. I just gave you the first four I could think of. And don't include people's girlfriends because they're just temporary. They're not forever. I would have said Livia or someone else, but you don't know if they're forever. Jason Blaha hates me. I don't think Jason Blaha hates me. I think Jason Blaha likes to talk shit Send Jason Blaha that video I posted today of doing 405 for 6 on the inclines and have him critique it. He's going to say something is wrong with that set. Blaha is Blaha. McCuck thinks if you disappear, so will the trolls. He's got another thing coming. The trolls were all over Jason Genova before I even knew what Instagram was. So, come on. You guys that don't like me, I just gave you a fucking head start. Brad, McCuck, Hamburg, Kim Haynes. Keep the list going. Come on. I mean, Quinn Courtney, haha, we were just messing, Big J. Jay, did you box as a younger lad? No, but I did do 2 exhibition fights in college, which were like 3 1-minute rounds in a bar. So basically tough man rules. And I won my first one and I lost my second one. Now, I'll tell you what. The kid that I lost my second fight to was all cardiovascular. I couldn't finish the 3rd round. I couldn't finish the 3rd round, the fight that I lost. And that kid who beat me in the fraternity boxing, I don't know his last name. His first name was Tim. And I know he was a Theta Chi. He actually beat me in the fraternity wrestling as well. That dude had my number. And he was I think he was a big country kid. He was like 6 foot, 6'1". He wasn't real tall. He was, maybe an inch taller than me. And he was like 220 pounds, had muscle, but he wasn't like bodybuilder looking or nothing. He looked like a guy who maybe did high school sports and then went to college and just joined a fraternity and enjoyed partying. And he had my number, and he was much smaller than me. He was about 220 pounds, and he beat me in the wrestling and in the boxing. Tim McCuck. Yeah, his last name was McCuck. He was a real nice guy, though. That's why I think he was from the country, because we weren't enemies. Like his fraternity and my fraternity, we were somewhat allies, because a lot of the other, we'd be at parties and stuff, and I would see this Tim guy fucking hanging out, talking to chicks, and I was a fucking monster. I was big in college, and I wasn't big and fat like I am now. And I would go up and I would say, ladies, you know who this is? And they'd be like, well, yeah, we're talking to him. I'm like, well, this guy kicked my ass in the fraternity boxing and the fraternity wrestling tournament. And Tim was such a good guy. He was so humble. He would say, oh, you don't have to say that, man. I mean, he was the most gracious winner I've ever lost to. And that's why I like the guy so much. Because it's almost like I put it in his face that he beat me more than he put it in my face that he beat me, if that makes sense. So we became friends. Wasn't a big deal. Called being a man. McCuck is not a member of that group. Also, I was a scholarship athlete at Eastern Michigan. I was on the varsity track and field team. I did the shot put, the hammer, and the discus, and a little bit of javelin. So fraternity sports for me was just all about fun. I mean, I'm not going to get in arguments and lose friends over fraternity sports when I was actually on a varsity team. So, being this Tim guy, he fucking beat me in wrestling and boxing. It's funny, like, he's the one who beat me, and I never let him forget it. I would bring it up every time I fucking saw him. This is the guy that beat me in wrestling and boxing. It was funny as fuck. Oh. Make your own contract too. It's a simple fix. Talk about Harbaugh. That's a waste of time. Who's Michigan got this week? Wisconsin? They might lose that game too. Have you heard Hamburg is considering TRT? Hamburg is a complete cuck. Big Rob Fitness will fight you. Actually, it's funny you bring up Big Rob because someone sent me the video Adam made of calling out Big Rob, that he wanted to fight Big Rob. And at the end of the video, Adam says, Rob, you just got to do me one favor. You got to sign the papers so you don't come after me after I kick your ass. And I'm thinking, Big Rob Fitness would beat the living dog shit out of McLeod. And McLeod thinks that Big Rob Fitness needs to sign papers? Jesus fucking Christ. It's hilarious. I tried to repost it, but it wouldn't let me. Because it was an old story from the Jay Trendfinger account. And I don't know. I wouldn't mind rekindling with fucking Big Rob Fitness and telling him that and doing a training video up in Michigan to fight McCuck with Big Rob Fitness training me. You guys have any idea what Big Rob Fitness would do to Adam McLeod in the ring? You guys have any idea? Any idea? Big Rob Fitness would beat McCuck into a bloody fucking pulp. Big Rob Fitness is in shape. Big Rob Fitness doesn't drink, doesn't smoke. And if you've seen Big Rob Fitness's videos, he doesn't do a lot of weight, but he does a shit ton of volume. The guy is in good condition. Yeah. And Big Rob Fitness is, probably, I don't know, 6 foot, 240. I mean, he's a shit ton bigger than McCuck. Big Rob Fitness would beat the living dog fuck out of McCuck. Oh. Yeah, we need to get Big Rob Fitness back in the game. I'll go take some boxing lessons. Getting loud in the city with Big Rob. Imagine that. Big J taking boxing lessons from Big Rob. We're here getting loud in the city. See, that's Adam's WWE persona when he called out Big Rob Fitness to a fight. And then he says, "But Rob, you just got to do me one favor. You got to sign the paperwork." And the fight never happened. McCuck does it that way, people. That's McCuck's way. He's all about cutting a wrestling promo and looking good in front of his wife's friends, like he's the tough guy. And then nothing ever happens. And you guys might say, well, Jay, you've called out a bunch of people and you never fought them. Yeah, but buried the fucking hatchet. I'm not on bad terms with Big Rob Fitness. I could call him right now. I'm not on bad terms with PJ Braun. I could call him right now. I'm not on bad terms with Dale Chance. I could call him right now. Mark Lubliner? Not so fast. Mark Lubliner still has me blocked. Who else have I challenged? Oh, Lou? Big Lou? Lenny's friend, Big Lou? Him and I are on good terms. I could call Lou right now. See, I understand how this shit works. McCuck only understands, like, from being a pathetic boy in a hospital bed watching WWE, wanting to be relevant someday. And poor McCuck, you know, I don't think McCuck knows who his real father is, because that man he talks about that passed away, who's his brother's father, do you guys really think that's McCuck's father? You trolls can do it. I know you guys, this would be an easy thing to do. Do a split shot with a picture of Kyle right next to a picture of fucking Adam McCuck. Kyle is tall, thin, blonde. I think he had green eyes. I don't know. And then you got McCuck, who looks like a fucking Ewok, who got raped by Joseph Stalin. Yeah, there's no way McCuck and Kyle have the same father. No way. I mean, look at the two guys. They don't have the same father. No. What are we going to do about McCuck? Big Rob is talking loud in the city. Fuck you, Jay. Notre Dame does deserve number one. Dude, I can't believe they beat Clemson, honestly. What a victory. But that doesn't make Notre Dame a good team. Come on. You think Notre Dame can beat fucking Alabama?
14-hour workday limit,
Do you-
11-hour driving limit.
Do you think Notre Dame can beat Florida? And that's just the SEC. Do you think Notre Dame can beat Ohio State? No. I don't think anybody in the Big Ten can beat Ohio State. I think Ohio State is going to come out of that Big Ten schedule 9-0. I think they only have 8 games, and then a championship game. Ohio State's going to be 9-0, and Clemson's lost a game. I don't think Bama's lost a game. Has Notre Dame lost a game? I'm not even sure. I thought they did. If Notre Dame's undefeated, that's the biggest joke in the country. I really don't care that they beat Clemson. That doesn't mean they're up there with Ohio State and fucking Alabama, or the Gators. I mean, I thought the Gators. I predicted the Gators would go undefeated. So when the Gators lost, I figured, fuck, I'm a moron. I don't know anything about sports. And then the Gators fucking dominate fucking the Georgia Bulldogs. I'm like, well, fuck. I called that. That's the way it works, man. But I don't think the Gators are a top 4 team. I really don't. And I don't think Clemson losing knocks them out of the top 4. I mean, Clemson isn't afraid of anybody. Clemson will play Alabama. Clemson will play Ohio State. I mean, who else is up there? Who else can compete with Alabama, Ohio State, Clemson, the Gators, and Notre Dame? That's your top 5, right? If I'm not, I haven't looked at the poll, but I'm just assuming that's the top 5. And I would say that Notre Dame is the weakest of those 5 who doesn't deserve the playoff. But I don't, and then there's LSU has lost a game. What if LSU puts on an ass whooping this weekend? LSU is back in the picture. The SEC is just too tough this year, and the Big Ten is pathetic. I wouldn't say my conference because I didn't go to Michigan. I'm just a Michigan Wolverine fan, but the Big Ten is weak as fuck. I mean, anybody in the Big Ten besides Ohio State could get beat by Rutgers or Maryland this year. I mean, come on. That's just fucking crazy. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if Michigan lost to Rutgers. I really wouldn't. I think we have Wisconsin this weekend. I'm not sure, though. I know it's at 7:30 at night. Kennel, 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 says White Shadow. Yes. All right, I got to take my first piss of the live. Kennel, kennel, kennel. I don't understand why you guys are so intrigued by that. I'll give you guys some background. Uh, I don't remember the word, but in the great, must have been late 1970s thriller, unless it was after 1980, The Boys from Brazil, which was about artificial insemination of Hitler's genetics into these young boys. And there's a scene where the I think they're Rottweilers or Dobermans, and that made a big impact on my life. Like, that's why I said kennel 3 times, because let's say your word for your dog is mayonnaise. You've trained your dog to only react if you say mayonnaise, mayonnaise, mayonnaise. If someone has your information and they show up to your house and they say mayonnaise, and they only say it once, your dogs are going to look at them and say, fuck you. Whatever. Do you think Brad will talk to you again when Taco Queen leaves? I don't think I'll be alive when the Taco Queen leaves. Honestly. But yes, I think he would. I mean, Taco Queen's not going anywhere. She's got a 10-year-old kid. Taco Queen's not going anywhere. Until that kid graduates high school. And I'll bet on that. I don't care what happens between Brad and Valerie in the next couple months, couple years. She's a smart cookie. She'll just, roll with it, put up with it, continue to raise her son, and then, whatever happens, whether the kid goes to college, the Marine Corps, whatever, maybe then she'll give Brad the middle finger and say, you know what, motherfucker, I don't really need you and your fake masculinity, machoism, your beard and your tattoos and your fucking homo, with your vape pen. I'm just kidding. She wouldn't say that. None of that's true. But you know what I'm saying. Valerie's not going anywhere till that kid is 18 and out of the house. No, Brad and I are never going to be friends again. You don't expect to be alive in the next 7 to 8 years? Well, that's the joke, bro. We shouldn't be talking about Brad and Valerie anyway. They're like the Brad and Angelina of the misfit world. Can't talk about Brad and Angelina. Doesn't matter. Hate it when my truck does that. Sometimes my truck gets irritable and wants to shut off. It's not supposed to shut off. Did it to me twice last night. Air conditioning fucking shuts off. Wake up sweating. Who's this loser? I wonder if he sucks dick or has any cigarettes. Is Taco Queen the reason you're not welcome? No, absolutely not. You guys don't understand Brad. For you to even say that, you don't understand Brad. Look, Brad's on his third try at having a family. Okay? He had the first marriage, and I guess he filed. From what I've been told, Brad actually filed for divorce and ruined his first family. And then Brad's second attempt at a family, and I gotta wonder if Brad filed on the wife of his first two kids to be with that girl he worked with that wind up having his third child. But these are things I don't know. I'm just speculating. But anyway, so Brad has a child with a second woman that he was at least smart enough not to marry, but he got burned in a pretty brutal fucking child support agreement. So this is Brad's third try at a family. And he brings in due to COVID-19, which is no fault of Valerie's. She didn't ask for COVID-19. But he brings in an unemployed bartender and her 10-year-old son into his house. And this is his third go around at trying to have a family. So And this is really Valerie's first. Um, so this is Brad's third go around at having a family, and Valerie's first. And I'm not going to explain what I just said. You're going to have to figure it out on your own. So Brad's going to take it a little bit more seriously than Valerie. Because remember, it's his first, his third attempt at a family. And with Valerie, it's only her first. I mean, she didn't care the other time. So Valerie can have a good sense of humor and joke around. You know, hey, you were just drunk. You're a fucking idiot. You're a fucking fat retard. I mean, she's a cool chick. She can dish it out. But Brad is in more of a delicate situation. This is his third try at a family. So for him, this is almost the final conflict. So he's gonna really have to like balance like all the intricacies. I'm making up words now. But the short answer is no. Valerie's not to blame for anything. This is all about Brad. I mean, come on. Brad's parents have been married damn near 50 years. You think they wanted this life for their son? Where got none of this can be blamed on Valerie. You guys would just be retarded to do that. See, I'm a firm believer that Valerie has a much better sense of humor than Brad because of those facts. This is her first attempt at having a family, where this is Brad's third. So Brad is more willing to throw people away that can interfere with what he wants. Does that make sense? Of course it does. sense, right? Makes perfect sense to me. Yeah, so whoever asked that question, do you blame Valerie for the breakup of the Misfits? Hell no. It's Brad. I shouldn't say that. Brad didn't break up the Misfits. Brad, it, the Misfits were already dead, honestly. Um, what what Brad did by drawing a line in the sand that he can't be friends with Jay Masters anymore, he's just trying to make his third attempt at having a family viable. I mean, I mean, that's all he's doing. What do you guys think that? Oh, Brad really cares about us. He wants to continue on with the Misfits. He just wants to get rid of Jay. Really? You think that? You go ahead and keep thinking that. Misfits were long dead before Brad drew that line in the sand that he doesn't want to have me out to his house anymore. Long dead. Who's to blame? I don't know. I'll tell you what. Lenny would still be working at the hospital today if Andrew Kalura would have never came back to Florida and brought all those homosexual waves with him. Because when I met Lenny, he wasn't hooking up with trannies. I never knew that about Lenny. Lenny really never got back into the training thing. So and that led to Lou posting the video of Lenny drinking piss directly from a dick. And that led to McCook getting Lenny fired. And then yada, yada, yada. So really, if you guys want to pinpoint what broke up the Misfits, you can actually go back to the very first Andrew Kalura visit, because Lenny wasn't doing trainees at that point. Kalura had moved to South Carolina, and all the homosexuality fucking activity had stopped. And when Kalura came down to visit, fucking Lou jumped in, started supplying Lenny with fucking drugs, and then the homosexuality shit fucking flared up. Lenny winds up getting fired. Lenny would have never, ever been in that situation if Andrew Kalura hadn't been around. Let's go through the cast of the Misfits. How many people Lenny has been with trainees with? Andrew Fiedelman, none. Brad Murray, none. Jason Masterson, none. Nate Figgs, none. Jason Genova, none. Andrew Kalura, Lou D'Onofrio. Or should I do it that way? That's what killed the Misfits. Whatever, don't believe me. Lenny has never, ever sucked dick with me, Brad, Andrew, Nate, Jason Genova, Synthol Mark, Big Richard, Saul, Cerebral Palsy Mike. I mean, all your favorite characters from the Misfits, Lenny's never sucked dick with them. Who is the fucking character who always comes into the picture and sends Lenny off the deep end? Andrew Kalura. Andrew fucking Kalura. Prove me wrong. Lou D'Onofrio just fucking filmed it.
Upcoming violation, 14-hour workday limit. 11-hour driving limit.
Lenny never even talked about that shit. I never knew about that shit. You look at the old Misfit videos with Big Richard and Old Man Chuck. Does Lenny talk about sucking dick? No, he doesn't. Lenny doesn't start talking about sucking dick on Misfit videos until Andrew Kalura comes back on the scene. Prove me wrong. Prove me fucking wrong. I'm still standing here. Dude. Brad never sucked dick with Lenny. Nate never sucked dick with Lenny. Goddamn McCuck never sucked dick with Lenny. But who did? Andrew Kalura. Andrew Kalura did. That's who broke up the Misfits. Wasn't Brad. Wasn't Valerie. Wasn't McCock. It was Andrew Kalura. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Then Andrew Kalura runs to South Carolina and denies any homosexuality in his life. We have Lenny on Lenny and Kalura shared everything. Lenny brags that him and Kalura shared everything. They banged the same tranny hole. They shared everything. Then he's a fucking homosexual. Because he's a man of God. Well, my God doesn't accept homosexuals. I'm happy Lenny's getting help. I actually am against what Lenny went and did. I think back in the old days, uh, we would have handled this a lot differently. Um, like, for example, let's just say Lenny was a pro athlete. Let's just say Lenny was a pro athlete and had a manager, and Lenny's manager paid me to keep away fucking faggots. Andrew Kalura would have never came back into Lenny's life. That would have been my job. Misfit fans, trace the history. Since Andrew Kalura visited Florida, Lenny's life has spiraled it downhill. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. But you can't. Or you're afraid. Oh, I'm so afraid. I'm afraid. Fuck you guys. I'm going to get some cigarettes. Just remember, listen to Big J right now. Brad and Valerie didn't break up the Misfits. The Misfits broke up a long, long time ago when Andrew Kalura first visited Lenny. And that's when Lenny's behavior went back to the old days. And that's when Lou caught Lenny. That's what ruined the internet. Andrew Kalura. Because Lenny wasn't sucking dick until Andrew Kalura came back in the picture. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong.